The Watchers descended as rebels. But they did not come empty-handed. They arrived bearing knowledge, sciences forbidden to mortal sight, teachings reserved for celestial hierarchies, cosmological doctrines meant to remain in heaven. What they delivered was not mere information. It was a curriculum, a systematic disclosure of the hidden architecture of reality itself. Astrology, the mathematics of stellar destiny. Metallurgy, the extraction of essence from stone. The crafting of weapons that amplified human will beyond its natural boundary. Cosmetics and enchantments that bent perception and form. Medicines and poisons that governed the very structure of life and decay. These were not isolated gifts. They formed a unified system, a proto-science binding celestial law to terrestrial matter, star course to earthly craft, heavenly intelligence to human ambition. Civilization was reshaped. The boundary between heaven and earth dissolved. And something fundamental in the cosmic order fractured. But beneath the narrative of rebellion lies a darker question. Why was this knowledge forbidden? What made these teachings dangerous? Not because they were false, but because they were true. What happens when heaven's sciences descend before humanity is prepared to wield them? The Watchers did not merely transgress, they taught. And that teaching became the foundation of every human craft that followed. The ancient texts preserve their curriculum with disturbing precision, naming angels, listing sciences, documenting the systematic transfer of celestial intelligence to terrestrial application. This was not chaotic corruption. It was organized instruction, deliberate pedagogy, a structured program of revelation that would echo through every civilization that followed. The Book of Enoch preserves what later traditions suppressed. The Watchers were not only transgressors, but instructors. Their crime was pedagogy. They revealed to humanity what had been withheld, delivering celestial sciences across the boundary, separating divine order from mortal chaos. Enoch records their names, their specializations, their students. This was not random corruption. It was systematic transmission. Apocalyptic literature frames revelation itself as dangerous. Knowledge disclosed outside its proper cosmological timing becomes destabilizing. The Watchers taught prematurely, not teaching falsehood, but truth delivered before the world was structured to receive it. The crime was dislocation, not deception. The text names specific angels and their domains. Azazel taught metallurgy and weaponry, the transformation of ore, and the amplification of violence. Shemyaza led the descent, organizing the rebellion into structured instruction. Armaros revealed counter spells, the negation of enchantment. Barakal taught astrology, the reading of star signs and celestial omens. Each angel specialized, each delivered a fragment of heaven's unified science. Mesopotamian tradition preserved parallel memory. The Apkallu, 7 sages sent before the flood, were divine craftsmen, heavenly instructors in architecture, irrigation, ritual, astronomy. They brought civilization's founding arts from celestial realms, but their teaching was sanctioned, ordered, aligned with cosmic law. The Watchers' curriculum was the same knowledge, but delivered in defiance of heaven's hierarchy. Persian priest scientists developed comparable systems. Metallurgy was not merely technical, it was cosmological participation. Extracting metals from ore replicated heaven's creative process. Astronomy tracked not abstract motion but moral forces, Asha and Druj encoded in planetary movements. Fire ritual aligned terrestrial space with celestial order. Knowledge was inseparable from cosmological responsibility. The Zoroastrian priesthood understood that to work with fire, metals, and stars was to participate in cosmic struggle. Each craft aligned the practitioner with either order or chaos. There was no neutral knowledge. Every technique carried metaphysical weight. Every science implied cosmological allegiance. Ancient cultures operated under a shared axiom. Advanced knowledge carries metaphysical weight. To know the structure of stars, the essence of metals, the hidden properties of substances. This was not neutral information. It was participation in cosmic order. And participation without proper alignment destabilized reality itself. The question beneath Enoch's narrative: can knowledge exist without cosmic responsibility? Or does intelligence severed from order inevitably corrupt? The Watcher's curriculum was not chaotic revelation. It formed a unified cosmological system, a science binding celestial law to terrestrial craft. Astrology stood as foundation, not fortune-telling, but the mathematics of cosmic order. The angels taught humanity to read star courses, tracking planetary movements through the zodiacal belt, interpreting conjunctions and oppositions, understanding destiny not as arbitrary fate, but as geometric necessity. The heavens moved according to law. Those laws governed earthly events. To know astrology was to possess the calculus of time itself, predicting harvests, wars, births, deaths through celestial computation. The zodiac was not symbolic projection, but cosmological map. Each constellation marked celestial territory, domains where planetary forces operated according to specific principles. Mercury's motion through Gemini produced different effects than Mercury through Scorpio, not through arbitrary association, but through geometric relationship, angular tension, harmonic resonance between celestial bodies. This was mathematics, not mysticism, though the mathematics operated on levels modern science cannot measure. Metallurgy followed as applied cosmology. The Watchers revealed extraction techniques, separating metals from ore, transforming hidden essence into visible substance. But this was not mere craft. It was participation in creation's ongoing process: gold, silver, copper, iron. Each metal corresponded to planetary forces, celestial hierarchies, angelic dominions. To work metal was to channel cosmic intelligence into matter, reshaping Earth substance according to heaven's hidden architecture. The process was initiatory, or contained potential, but potential remained latent until intelligence extracted it. The smith became co-creator, replicating on terrestrial scale what angels performed in celestial realms, bringing form from formlessness, actualizing hidden essence, manifesting what existed only as possibility. Fire served as transformer, neither earthly nor heavenly, but mediating between states, dissolving crude matter to reveal pure substance beneath. Weapons and tools emerged as amplification. The angels taught sword-making, shield forging, the crafting of instruments that extended human power beyond natural boundaries. A blade was not neutral. It was frozen will, material extension of intention, violence made geometric. Tools shifted humanity's relationship to environment, amplifying capacity, altering destiny through artificial means. But weapons carried deeper implication. They externalized force, making violence calculable, predictable, replicable. Before metallurgical weapons, conflict remained bounded by physical capacity. After, power became artificial, divorced from bodily limitation. The strong and weak became equalized through craft. Hierarchy dissolved. And with that dissolution came chaos. Violence no longer governed by natural order, but by whoever possessed superior technique. Cosmetics and enchantments formed subtler sciences. The Watchers taught adornment, dyes, pigments, jewelry, perfumes. But these were not superficial. They were manipulations of perception itself, alterations of form and appearance that bent reality at the boundary between matter and meaning. Enchantment blurred substance with symbol, making the visible world plastic under intelligence. This was magic, not supernatural intervention, but precise application of correspondence between levels of reality. What appeared in material form shaped perception. Perception shaped meaning. Meaning shaped reality. To alter appearance was to alter truth itself at the threshold where form becomes substance. The line between cosmetic and cosmological blurred. Both operated on reality's surface, where intelligence could reshape manifestation through strategic intervention. Medicines and poisons completed the curriculum, mastery over life structure. The angels revealed healing herbs, toxic compounds, antidotes, elixirs. This was intervention in biological law, accelerating healing, inducing decay, navigating the boundary between vitality and corruption. Medicine was not compassion. It was power over living substance, control of the threshold, separating existence from dissolution. Knowledge of plants, minerals, compounds, each carried specific force, operated on particular organs, targeted precise physiological processes. But medicine also operated metaphysically. Illness was not merely biological, but cosmological. Misalignment between body and celestial influence, disruption of natural harmony. Healing meant restoration of proper relationship, realignment with cosmic order. Poison was deliberate disruption, introducing chaos into biological law. Together, these formed proto-science, intelligence applied to matter, celestial law, governing terrestrial craft, heaven sciences, delivered to earth. Beneath Enoch's narrative lies metaphysical architecture. The Watchers were mediators, beings existing between pure intelligence and material form, capable of translating celestial law into terrestrial application. Their teaching was not information transfer, but ontological participation, inviting humanity into processes reserved for higher hierarchies. Forbidden knowledge was premature alignment. Humanity lacked the cosmological maturity to wield these sciences responsibly. To know star law before understanding cosmic order, to manipulate matter before grasping metaphysical consequence, this was dislocation. The Watchers delivered truth, but truth divorced from its proper cosmological context becomes destabilizing force. Astrology was mathematics of celestial order, not arbitrary symbolism, but geometric law, governing temporal unfolding. The stars moved according to intelligence, not mechanism. To read astrology was to decode destiny itself, understanding events as expressions of cosmic structure. This was not prediction, but participation, aligning earthly action with celestial pattern. Metallurgy was sacred transformation. Ore contained hidden essence. Extraction replicated creation's process, separating form from chaos, actualizing potential, bringing latent reality into manifestation. Each metal corresponded to planetary intelligence. To forge gold was to channel solar force. To work iron was to materialize martial energy. Metallurgy was applied cosmology, shaping substance according to celestial archetype. The smith stood at creation's threshold, replicating divine action on human scale. Fire dissolved crude substance, revealing essence. Hammer gave form. The finished metal was not mere object, but frozen intelligence, celestial force condensed into material expression, heaven's pattern impressed onto terrestrial matter. Weapons represented artificial amplification of will. A sword extended intention beyond bodily limitation. It made violence geometric, deliberate, calculable. This was dangerous, not because weapons kill, but because they sever action from natural consequence. Power amplified artificially becomes unmoored from cosmic balance. Cosmetics and enchantments manipulated perception and form. They operated at reality's surface, where appearance shapes meaning, where symbol bleeds into substance. To alter form was to alter reality itself at the threshold of manifestation. This was subtle metaphysics, bending world through image. Medicines and poisons governed life's structure. Healing accelerated natural process. Poison disrupted biological law. Both were interventions, imposing intelligence onto living substance, controlling vitality's flow. This was power over existence's boundary, mastery of the threshold, separating animation from dissolution. The Hermetic axiom echoes beneath, as above, so below. Celestial law governs terrestrial matter. Mind shapes substance. Knowledge is not observation, but participation in cosmic order itself. The Watchers delivered this participation prematurely, granting humanity angelic capacity without angelic alignment, power without proper position in cosmic hierarchy. The Watchers' curriculum was not isolated revelation. Its elements recur across ancient traditions, different expressions of unified cosmological science. Enochian tradition preserves the pedagogy. Angels descended as instructors, revealing star law and earthcraft. Their teaching was judged not by content, but by cosmological timing. The knowledge was true, but delivered prematurely, creating imbalance. Civilization advanced too rapidly, without corresponding moral development. The crime was acceleration, intelligence outpacing order. Persian priest-scientists developed parallel systems independently. The Magi were guardians of astral and elemental knowledge. Astronomy tracked Asha, cosmic righteousness, encoded in planetary motion. Metallurgy participated in creation's ongoing process. Fire ritual aligned Earth with heaven. These sciences were unified. Stars, metals, flame formed interconnected cosmology. Knowledge was inseparable from ritual responsibility. Hermetic philosophy later systematized the same principles. Alchemy was sacred metallurgy, transformation of substance through celestial correspondence. The 7 metals mirrored 7 planets, 7 days, 7 angels. Astrology became cosmic mathematics, geometric law governing temporal manifestation. Hermeticism preserved what apocalyptic literature condemned. The same sciences, but framed as legitimate wisdom rather than stolen knowledge. The Hermetic texts described knowledge as divine gift, properly revealed through sacred lineage. Thoth Hermes received wisdom from celestial intelligences, then transmitted it through initiated priesthood. The difference between Hermetic revelation and Enochian transgression was authorization, one sanctioned by divine hierarchy, one stolen against cosmic law. Ancient Near Eastern traditions remembered the Apkallu, heavenly craftsmen who brought civilization's founding arts. Architecture, irrigation, astronomy, writing, all descended from celestial realms, but the Apkallu taught with divine sanction. Their knowledge was ordered, aligned, cosmologically legitimate. The difference between Apkallu and Watchers was not content but authorization. One sanctioned, one transgressive. Early Jewish mysticism inherited the tension. Wisdom literature celebrated divine knowledge. Apocalyptic texts condemned premature revelation. Both traditions agreed. Intelligence carries cosmic responsibility. Knowledge misaligned with order becomes destructive, regardless of truth value. The pattern persists across cultures, across centuries, a shared recognition that heaven's sciences are dangerous gifts. The Watcher's crime reveals ancient epistemological anxiety. Their transgression was not deception but dislocation, delivering truth outside its proper cosmological context. This distinction matters. Modern thought separates knowledge from ethics, information from responsibility. Ancient traditions refused that separation. Intelligence was ontologically inseparable from order. Forbidden knowledge was premature alignment with cosmic forces. Humanity gained capacity to manipulate stars, metals, life, but without understanding consequence. Power divorced from cosmological maturity becomes destabilizing. The Watcher's curriculum was true science. But science delivered before the world was structured to integrate it responsibly. Ancient cultures feared imbalance more than ignorance. Lack of knowledge preserved stability. Premature revelation shattered order. This was not anti-intellectualism. It was recognition that intelligence alters reality. To know star law changes how stars operate for the knower. To master metallurgy reshapes relationship to matter. Knowledge is not neutral observation. It is participation, alignment, ontological transformation. The distinction between legitimate and forbidden knowledge was not content, but context. The same sciences taught by Apkallu, with divine sanction, became transgressive when delivered by rebellious angels. This reveals ancient understanding. Knowledge exists within cosmological hierarchy. Information divorced from proper position in that hierarchy becomes corrupting, not because it is false, but because it is misplaced. The Watcher's curriculum altered destiny itself. Before their teaching, humanity existed within natural boundaries. After, those boundaries dissolved. Weapons amplified will. Metals channeled celestial force. Medicines controlled life's structure. Each advance shifted humanity's cosmological position, moving mortals closer to angelic capacity, destabilizing the hierarchy separating heaven from earth. This was the true crime, not teaching specific techniques, but collapsing cosmological distance. Angels occupied intermediate position between God and humanity. Their knowledge was appropriate to that position. When delivered downward prematurely, it created beings with angelic capacity but mortal limitation, power without wisdom, intelligence without proper alignment. The forbidden curriculum becomes metaphor for technological acceleration. Every scientific advance carries cosmological shadow, power increases, responsibility lags. Intelligence outpaces wisdom. Modernity recreates the Watcher's crime, not by stealing fire from heaven, but by fragmenting knowledge from order, separating capacity from consequence. The universal warning persists. Intelligence misaligned with cosmic order becomes destructive force, not because knowledge is evil, but because power without proper alignment inevitably corrupts. The Watchers taught true science, and that truth shattered the world. The Watchers' teachings did not vanish with their punishment. They seeded every craft that followed. Metallurgy became civilization's foundation. Astronomy guided navigation, agriculture, ritual. Medicine shaped healing traditions across millennia. Every human science bears their imprint, heaven's knowledge embedded in earthly craft. The curriculum persists because it was never false, it was premature. Truth delivered before the world could integrate it responsibly. But once revealed, knowledge cannot be unlearned. The sciences spread, evolved, fragmented into disciplines. Astrology becoming astronomy, alchemy becoming chemistry, enchantment becoming psychology. The unified cosmological system shattered into isolated techniques, yet ancient memory remains. Somewhere beneath technological civilization lies recognition that advanced knowledge is dangerous gift, that intelligence carries cosmological weight, that power divorced from wisdom inevitably destabilizes. The Watcher's crime was not teaching falsehood, it was teaching truth too soon. Civilization advances, capacity increases. The boundary between heaven and earth continues dissolving. And the shadow that fell, when angels first descended as instructors, lengthens across every age that follows. The ancient texts do not condemn knowledge itself. They condemn dislocation, power granted without corresponding responsibility. intelligence delivered without cosmological alignment. Every advance humanity makes recreates that original transgression. Every technology that extends human capacity beyond natural limitation echoes the Watcher's forbidden curriculum. Heaven's sciences were not stolen. They were delivered, and the world has never recovered from that delivery.